You know that feeling, right? That just overwhelming wave of frustration. Your brilliant plan for handling, I don't know, a toddler's epic meltdown over a sippy cup.
Or the silent treatment from your teenager.
Exactly. It just
Yeah.
vanishes. And all that good parenting advice you've soaked up out the window in that split second.
It's like hitting the factory reset button. Your first reaction is almost always automatic, probably emotional, and yeah, often something you wish you could take back.
Totally.
And look, that's a core challenge for literally every parent. So today, our mission is to really dive deep into something designed to hit pause on that automatic reaction. Mindful parenting.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about, take a breath, count to 10, though that can help. We're looking at a proper, structured model. Applying mindfulness principles, but specifically to that messy, high-stakes parent-child relationship. And we're going straight to the evidence, the data, to see what actually happens when parents try this out.
Precisely. And maybe we should start with defining mindfulness itself, just quickly. The sort of technical definition is the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment by moment.
Okay, so mindful parenting takes that inner focus, that awareness, and points it outwards. Towards your kids' feelings, sure, but also, and this feels key, towards your own feelings while you're parenting.
That's it. It's making a conscious choice to actually be there in the moment instead of just getting swept away by the chaos.
Right. Choosing presence over reaction.
Absolutely. And maybe the big takeaway right from the start is that this isn't really about having the perfect thing to say or do. It's more fundamental. It's about shifting your whole orientation to being a parent.
A different way of being in the role.
Yeah. And the research we're about to get into shows this shift. It has real measurable effects. Especially, and this is huge for many parents, on reducing stress.
Okay, I'm already interested. Let's unpack this model then. You said it's structured, like pillars.
That's right, 5 core dimensions or pillars. And the idea is that strengthening all 5 together is what makes mindful parenting really work, makes it resilient. It's not just pick and choose.
Got it. An ecosystem, not a checklist. What's the first pillar?
First up is listening with full attention. Sounds simple, maybe.
Deceptively simple, perhaps.
Well,
Most parents probably think they are listening.
they do, but often it's through layers of expectation or distraction. True full attention means really tuning in to what your child is communicating, verbally, non-verbally, the whole picture, without immediately filtering it through your own stuff.
What kind of stuff? Like past experiences?
Exactly, or your assumptions. The huge benefit here is that it helps you rely less on those old mental habits, those fixed ideas about who your child is or should be.
Ah, so you stop seeing your, say, teenager through the lens of that tricky phase they went through 2 years ago.
Precisely. You respond to the actual person in front of you, right now.
Okay, that makes sense. And that seems like it flows right into the second pillar, which sounds like maybe the hardest one. Non-judgmental acceptance of self and child.
It definitely causes the most head-scratching. People hear acceptance and think it means approval, or letting kids run wild.
Yeah, how do you accept difficult behavior without judging it? Don't you need to teach right from wrong?
Absolutely. And the research is really clear on this crucial nuance. Acceptance here means accepting the reality of the present moment, acknowledging what is happening.
Okay, so the toy is broken. My child is shouting, I feel really angry right now. Just stating the facts first.
Yes. You accept the reality without immediately layering on blame or shame or harsh criticism. You fundamentally accept the child, their feelings, their stage of development, even while you're providing clear, firm, and appropriate standards for their behavior.
So you separate the action from the person's inherent worth. I love you, and hitting is not okay.
Yes. You nailed it. And that allows the parent to kind of juggle things. What the child needs, what the parent needs, what the relationship needs, without one aspect totally taking over.
Right, which brings us to number 3, emotional awareness of self and child. This feels like where the magic happens, the switch point.
It really is the foundation for making a conscious choice instead of just reacting. Strong emotions, yours or your child's, tend to trigger these very fast automatic pathways in the brain: anger, frustration, embarrassment.
Yeah, the feeling when your child has a meltdown in the supermarket aisle.
Exactly. If you can't even identify that feeling in yourself, wow, I'm feeling really judged right now, or I'm incredibly frustrated, you just skip straight to reacting, maybe yelling, maybe shutting down.
So awareness creates that crucial pause. Naming the feeling gives you space.
Correct. It creates that mental gap. And that gap is what allows you to then move into the fourth pillar: self-regulation in the parenting relationship.
Okay, so awareness lets you pause, and self-regulation is what you do in that pause.
Pretty much. It's about having low reactivity, especially to those normal kid behaviors that can feel, let's be honest, designed to push your buttons.
Oh, they know that.
They do. So self-regulation means pausing, taking that breath, and then responding in line with your actual values and goals as a parent, not just mirroring your child's meltdown or getting sucked into their emotional storm.
You stay in charge of your response, not let the tantrum dictate it.
You're driving, yes, not the emotion of the moment.
And the fifth pillar.
The fifth dimension is compassion for self and child. And I think this one is maybe the most vital for actually sticking with it long term.
Compassion. That sounds softer, but important.
It's crucial. It means fostering real warmth and empathy, seeing things from their perspective. But just as importantly, it means being kinder and more forgiving towards yourself as a parent.
Cutting yourself some slack. Yeah. Because parenting is hard and we mess up.
Constantly. We all do. Self-compassion means less beating yourself up when things don't go perfectly, less negative self-talk. And that actually helps you show up with more patience and kindness in the relationship itself. It's the fuel, really.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so those are the 5 pillars: listening fully, acceptance without judgment, emotional awareness, self-regulation, and compassion. How do these actually help break that cycle of reaction, especially in really stressful times, like, say, the teenage years?
Yeah, adolescence is a perfect example. Conflict often ramps up. Closeness might decline for a bit. It's stressful.
Understatement.
Right. And under that kind of chronic stress, parents often start seeing their teens' behavior, the eye rolls, the moods, the pulling away through what the research calls cognitive filters.
Filters, like looking through distorted glasses.
Kind of. Filters built from your own anxieties, maybe your ego getting involved, or these big, sometimes unrealistic expectations about how mature they should be acting.
So you're not seeing the kid in front of you anymore. You're seeing the problem teenager.
Exactly. You're reacting to a narrative, not the present moment. And that's what fuels that downward spiral. The teen acts out, maybe just pushes a boundary, testing things out. The parent sees it through the filter. They're being deliberately difficult, reacts harshly. The teen reacts back.
And boom, escalation, transactional negativity.
Precisely. Mindful parenting is designed to basically throw a wrench in those gears. It inserts that pause. It stops those automatic thoughts that lead straight to yelling or shutting down.
Okay, so how do you do that? In the heat of the moment, is there a quick technique?
There is. The sources often talk about a simple 3-step approach, sometimes called the AAA, though the key actions are look, observe, stop, and listen.
Okay, break that down. Step 1, look or observe.
This is pure emotional awareness in action. Before you say or do anything, just notice what's going on inside you. What am I feeling right now? Is it anger, embarrassment, fear, hurt? Just observe it, name it internally without judging yourself for feeling it.
That sounds incredibly hard when your blood pressure is rising.
It is. It takes practice, which is why step 2 is critical. Stop. Stop the impulse to react immediately. Sit with that feeling you just identified for a beat. This is flexing your self-regulation muscle. You acknowledge the feeling, maybe take that deep breath, and create a space between the trigger and your response. You're not trying to fix it instantly. You're trying not to make it worse.
Okay, observe the feeling, stop the reaction. Then what?
Then, step 3, listen. And this is where you bring in that full attention and compassion. Really, truly listen to your child. What are they actually saying, verbally and non-verbally? Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it.
So, back to the supermarket tantrum. The non-mindful parent might just yell out of embarrassment.
Right. But the mindful parent, they might observe, wow, I feel so embarrassed and frustrated. They stop, take a breath instead of shouting. Then they listen, maybe kneeling down, you seem really upset that we can't get the candy. They connect first, regulate themselves, and then address the behavior calmly. It diffuses things instead of adding fuel.
Connection and regulation, not just instant compliance. Okay, so we have the theory, the pillars, the practice. What does the actual research say? Does this stuff work? You mentioned a big review.
Yeah, there's a systematic review and meta-analysis. Basically a study of studies looking at mindfulness interventions for parents. And the findings on parent well-being are pretty striking.
Okay, let's hear it. Parental stress.
Big impact. Right after the program's finished, parents showed a measurable, small reduction in stress. But here's the really cool part.
It gets better.
It gets better. At the 2-month follow-up, that reduction in stress had actually grown into a moderate effect.
Wow, so the skills stick.
Yeah.
And maybe even improve with practice.
That's what it suggests. They're not just feeling good right after the course. They're continuing to use these skills, and the benefits are accumulating. It seems sustainable.
And how did it compare to other parenting programs, like standard parent education?
Good question. Even when compared against control groups, including active ones like parent education, the mindfulness groups still showed a small to moderate advantage in stress reduction.
So there's something specific about the mindfulness component itself that's making a difference there.
It really seems like it. The orientation shift, perhaps. Now, what about the kids? Did it help them?
Yeah, that's the bottom line for many parents. Did the kids get better?
Overall, yes. The meta-analysis found small, but importantly, consistent improvements in youth psychological outcomes.
Yeah, that covered a few areas.
4 main domains. Internalizing problems, things like anxiety and depression, externalizing problems like aggression or acting out, cognitive issues, maybe attention problems, and social skills.
Okay, small but broad improvements. Did the researchers figure out how it was working? Like, what's the mechanism?
They tried to, and this is where it gets really fascinating. They looked at whether the reduction in parent stress was directly linked to the improvements in the kids.
And was it? Less stressed parent equals better adjusted kid.
Well, yes and no. It's split. They found that parents feeling less stressed did strongly predict improvements in their kids' externalizing behaviors. Less acting out, maybe better attention too.
Okay, that makes sense. A calmer parent is probably less reactive, maybe uses less harsh discipline.
Exactly. That pathway seems pretty clear. Less parental stress leads to better behavior management.
But you said yes and no. What was the no part?
The surprise was that the reduction in parenting stress did not predict improvements in the kids' internalizing problems like anxiety or depression.
Wait, really? So the kids who got less anxious weren't necessarily the ones whose parents reported the biggest drop in stress?
That's what the data suggested, which makes you wonder if it's not just about the parent feeling less stressed, what is helping those kids with anxiety?
Maybe those other pillars. Acceptance, compassion, regulation.
That's what the researchers hypothesized. It might be the parent's ability to stay warm, accepting, and regulated during the child's distress, that modeling of emotional stability, that makes the biggest difference for internalizing issues, not just the parent feeling less stressed overall.
So for the anxious child, it's less about mom or dad being less stressed and more about them being a calm, accepting presence when the child is stressed.
Precisely. It points towards the quality of the interaction and the parent's regulated response being key for those internal struggles. It's about nurturing the relationship and modeling coping.
That's a really important nuance, and it didn't matter how old the kids were or how long the program was.
Interestingly, no. The positive effects were seen for parents of both younger children and adolescents. And the total hours of the programs varied quite a bit, from 9 to 27 hours. But effectiveness wasn't strongly tied to the length. Consistency seems more important than duration.
Good to know. Okay, so promising results on stress and kid outcomes. But research always has limitations, right? Anything we need to be cautious about.
Absolutely, and it's important to be transparent about this. The review itself assessed the overall risk of bias in the studies they included as serious.
Okay, serious risk of bias sounds.
Well, serious. What does that mean practically? Should we just ignore these findings?
No, not ignore them, but interpret them with caution. The source material explicitly states that firm conclusions regarding effectiveness can't quite be drawn yet.
Why the serious risk? What were the main issues?
Mostly, it came down to relying heavily on self-reports parents, saying they felt less stressed or saw improvements in their kids, which can be subjective. And many studies lacked rigorous randomization, which is the gold standard for proving cause and effect.
Right. So we see a strong signal, consistent pattern, but we need more studies with perhaps objective measures like observations or maybe even biological markers to really nail down the causality.
Exactly. It's a very strong green light for more research, but not quite a definitive final answer yet.
Okay, noted. Were there any other sort of surprising findings in the detail? There was one that puzzled the researchers a bit. It was about how the training was delivered. You'd probably assume that training parents and kids together in parallel groups would be best for everyone, right?
Yeah, seems logical. Tackle it from both sides.
But for the outcome of reducing parental stress, that wasn't the case.
Really?
Yeah. Parents reported a greater reduction in their own stress when they did the mindfulness training alone compared to when they did it in parallel with their kids participating in a youth group.
Huh. That is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Any idea why? Why would involving the kid make the parent more stressed or less likely to de-stress?
The researchers thought it might be because many of those parallel programs specifically recruited families where the kids already had significant diagnoses, like ADHD.
Okay. So those parents were dealing with a higher baseline level of very specific stressors, which might have diluted or masked the effect of the intervention on their stress levels compared to parents in the parent-only groups.
That's the hypothesis. Or maybe there's something about parents getting the space to focus solely on their own internal shifts first that makes the stress reduction more potent initially. It's an area for more research, for sure.
Interesting. So, pulling back a bit then, is mindful parenting just like another set of tools for the parenting toolkit, like behavioral strategies, or is it something different?
The experts who developed this model argue strongly that it's fundamentally different. They describe it as a new epistemological orientation.
Okay, that's a mouthful. What does that mean in plain English?
It means it's not just a list of techniques or consequences. It's a whole shift in how you view parenting, how you understand your child's experience, how you relate to your own role. It's about honoring childhood, trying to see the world through their eyes.
And by modeling that awareness and regulation yourself.
You're implicitly teaching them the tools for their own self-regulation down the line. It's a deeper change than just learning a new discipline tactic.
All right, it's less about control, more about connection and modeling. Okay, so we've journeyed through the 5 pillars, seen how they can break reactive cycles, looked at the evidence showing less stress for parents and benefits for kids, and touched on the nuances.
It really comes down to swapping those automatic, often ego-driven or habit-based reactions for more conscious, regulated, and value-driven responses. The heart of it is acceptance of the child, the situation, and yeah, probably the hardest part, acceptance of yourself as an imperfect parent.
And that brings us back to that 5th pillar, self-compassion, which, let's be honest, a lot of us aren't very good at. We don't have much practice being kind to ourselves, especially when we feel like we're messing up this incredibly important job.
It's true. It often feels easier to be compassionate to others than to ourselves.
So maybe we can leave everyone with something really practical related to that, a way to cultivate that self-compassion in a tough moment.
Absolutely. A simple practice when you feel that stress or guilt or self-criticism rising is to first use your breath to calm your nervous system.
Like that slow cycle breathing.
Yeah, something like breathing in for a count of 4, holding gently for 5, and breathing out slowly for 6. Just 2 or 3 cycles can make a difference.
Okay, so regulate the body first.
Then, while you're doing that, consciously try to bring kindness to yourself. Notice the self-critical thoughts and just let them go for a moment. Imagine a dear friend came to you feeling exactly how you feel right now. What would you say to them? How would you comfort them?
You'd probably be gentle, understanding, encouraging.
Right. Now try turning that same supportive, nurturing energy inward towards yourself. Acknowledge the struggle without the harsh judgment. That compassionate pause, that moment of kindness to yourself, might just be the key to finding the resilience you need to keep going in this long, challenging, amazing journey of parenthood.